Hi, my name is Chris Bird, and I'm doing this webinar series for a good friend of mine, Jamie Alden Fay. And my background is this. I'm an ex-IRS agent, was an IRS agent for 16 and a half years. I'm a certified financial planner, but my real calling is I speak about this over 100 days a year on the road, everyone, to real estate groups, CPA groups, attorney groups, things like this. I'll be in Minneapolis in a couple of weeks for 3 days. Nashville, Tennessee followed that for 2 days. And what I want to do in this particular webinar, the Inflation Reduction Act under the current administration in Washington came up with some pretty cool credits. And I know that's an old term, everybody, cool, but came up with some pretty neat credits for doing improvements, energy-related improvements, primarily to your principal res, and in some cases to your second home as well, all right? And just driving around, Jamie, you've seen it everywhere in this town, Craig, solar is going up left and right. Just the neighbor next to us just put up solar, and I couldn't believe it. They were there one day, and there were 30 panels on a roof, and they were done. So that's part of this. And we have two elements of this. We have the small credits, all right, which can go up to $1,200 a year, maybe up to $3,200, the small credits. And then we've got the solar credit, which can go up to no limit, everyone, all right? So these credits that I'm going to talk about for the next 5 or 6 minutes are basically in effect between 2023 and 2032, as long as they leave the law alone. 10 years, all right, to think about this. And it's every year for those 10 years. So this is pretty cool. Now, so the first thing, breaking this into the small credits limited to $1,200 or $3,200, and then saving the solar for a little bit later, all right? This is all about doing things to the building envelope, everybody, meaning what? Primarily insulation, things like that. Having a home energy audit done by a home energy auditor. And Jamie, I personally think that a lot of home inspectors are going to get their certification in how to be a home energy inspector because, you know, it's just another source of revenue. And the third thing is residential energy property. Now think about this. Think the standard is 30%. Whatever you pay, 30% is the credit, all right? So for solar, if my next door neighbor just spent $30,000, I have no idea about it, I haven't talked to her, but let's just say she dropped 30 grand on those 30 panels she had put on. 30% of 30 grand is a $9,000 tax credit from the federal government when she files her tax return for 2024. And then she's got Illinois things coming back at her, which I don't have the expertise to really go into, but there are Illinois subsidies as well. Okay, now, look at this. Now, the government made this overly complex, and I'm going to make it real simple. But your website of choice is EnergyStar.gov. Let me say that again, EnergyStar.gov. That is my authority on everything I'm teaching here. They have the best information out there, even better than the IRS. Now watch this. For new exterior doors, you get a 30% credit, but only limited, the credit is limited to $250 a door. And the most you can take indoors in a given year is $500. So listen to me carefully. What you don't want to do, everybody, don't do all this at one time. If you're replacing 6 doors, all right, on your principal residence, if you can stand waiting to do it over 3 years, you'll get a $500 credit for 3 years, versus if you did all the doors in 1 year, you're only going to get a $500 credit. So that's what to think about here, although you got dust and all that good stuff, I know, for 3 years, all right? Exterior windows and skylights, 30% of the cost, limited to $600, all right? So if you're doing 30 windows in your house, what did I just say, everybody? Trail them out over a period of time. And here's a quirk in the law. You don't get the credit when you buy the windows or the doors or the insulation. you get the credit when you install them. So let's just say that you could get the 30 doors or the 30 windows in this case from Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. Put them in your garage, put them in a storage unit, and then install them over a period of years. Now I'm smirking when I say this because most people won't do this, but I'm telling you it works. And then installation, 30% of the cost. Now all of these things are limited to only a $1,200 credit, including the home energy audit. So if you call, let's say Ameren, everyone, and Ameren has this person that's certified and all this good stuff, and they come out and they charge you $600 to do this home energy audit, which in my opinion is the way to get started with all this. Might as well find out what's deficient before you start putting in windows and doors and insulation. The credit is 30%. 30% of 600 is $180, limited to $150. So now watch this. Everything on this page, plus the home energy audit, is limited to a maximum of $1,200. All right. Even if you put in a new air conditioner, a new central air conditioner, the credit is only $600 for that, and the $600 is within the $1,200. So I know that sounds confusing. I've already told you the government made this overly complex, but it doesn't take a lot to get that $1,200 credit. I would just talk to your accountant about not doing this huge makeover at one time. What could we plan over a couple of years to maximize this credit? All right, now, there are $1,200. Now there's one more credit here too, and here's a planning pointer about doing this over a period of years. Then everyone, we have the big credit, which is called the Residential Clean Energy Credit, and the first topic here is solar. And let me just tell you this, you put in solar, it's 30%. If it costs 50 grand, 30% of 50 grand is $15,000. That's a $15,000 dollar for dollar reduction in your tax liability for that year. So there's nothing easy about this. It's Form 5695 of the Federal 1040. Talk to your accountant about this. Make sure you take these credits if they're applicable. Thanks, and see you again.
Thank you so much for watching our video series, and thank you so much, Chris, for doing this for us and educating Realtors. If you'd like to learn more, talk to your local or state Realtor Association and have them book Chris to do continuing education courses. And his website is chrisbirdseminars.com.
Thanks, Jamie. I thoroughly enjoyed doing it for you.
Thank you.